Was Xavi more important to Barcelona than Lionel Messi? The midfielder had an incredible career for Barcelona, where he played over 700 games and won every trophy imaginable, a lot of them with the Argentinian legend. Afterwards, he returned to coach them and led them to winning La Liga. He is undoubtedly one of their biggest legends, but his journey wasn't always smooth. At one point, he even considered leaving Barcelona. But why was this the case, and why did he change his mind? Welcome to the untold story of Xavi. Xavi's last days in Barcelona as a coach ended in huge drama. The legendary player became their coach in November 2021 during one of their most turbulent periods. They were 9th in La Liga, and despite a difficult first few months for Xavi, he managed to turn things around and went on a 14-match unbeaten streak. One of those games was a 4-0 demolition of Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. That win would end their 5-match losing streak in El Clasico. Despite Barca's recovery from their loss of form, they would end the season with elimination from the Europa League after they were on the verge of an epic comeback. They also finished second in La Liga. By the end of the first season, Xavi seemed like a revelation. He was at the centre of a revival for the club. The ailing Barcelona finally seemed to be on the right track, and the next season would bring success. Barca were on a different level in La Liga, but they couldn't survive their group in the 22-23 Champions League as they finished third behind Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. However, they shook off their disappointment by beating Real Madrid 3-1 in the final of the Supercopa de España. They continued their fine form in La Liga and won it for the first time since 2019. Barca seemed to be back, and the story was fitting. The man who was at the heart of their revival and domination as a player in the 2000s had inspired yet another La Liga win. However, this would be the peak of Xavi's return to Barcelona. The 23-24 season was one of the worst experiences for the club. They weren't in a good shape, and Barca's inability to invest in the squad didn't help either. Xavi openly criticised the club and announced in early 2024 that he would resign from his position at the end of the season. Eventually, Xavi changed his mind after meeting with Barca president Joan Laporta. However, Laporta and the board then changed their minds and sacked Xavi to hire Hansi Flick. It wasn't the way Xavi would have wanted to end his return to the club he gave everything to when he was a youth and in his prime. Xavi lives and breathes Barcelona, and his history with them began when he was just 11 years old, joining their famous youth academy, La Masia. Xavi joined Barca just as another legendary name was establishing himself in the Barcelona first team, Pep Guardiola, and he would later follow in his footsteps in more ways than one. Xavi made his Barca debut on the 5th of May 1998 against Lleida in a Copa Catalunya match, and made his La Liga debut against Valencia on the 3rd of October that same year. Initially, Xavi was in and out of the first team, but his strong performances established him as a key player for the team and was important in their title win in that 98-99 season. Xavi was just beginning for Barcelona, and he soon went from playing alongside his role model to replacing him. Xavi had a more solid position in the Barca first team in the 99-2000 season as captain. Pep Guardiola suffered an injury that kept him out of the team. Xavi continued to be important for Barca, assisting and chipping in with goals and helping them compete for domestic titles. Then in the 04-05 season, it initially appeared that Xavi was surplus to requirements, as Barcelona had skillful signings like Ronaldinho and Deco starring for them. Xavi also competed with Andres Iniesta, another brilliant La Masia talent, making his way into the senior team. Xavi faced the possibility of leaving Barcelona, but he stayed and was named vice-captain. Despite the competition, Xavi fought them off and was an undisputed starter. He helped Barcelona win La Liga and also won La Liga Player of the Year in 2005, despite the wealth of stars in the Spanish league at the time. Xavi defended his talent against the great players at the time, and all eyes were now on him. Unfortunately, in the second part of the 05-06 season, Xavi tore ligaments in his left knee during training and was out for 4 months. He returned just in time to witness Barca beat Arsenal to win the 2006 Champions League. He ended the season with 2 more additional trophies, La Liga and the Supercopa de España. In the 07-08 season, Xavi had to prove himself all over again. The team showed signs of fracture as players like the aforementioned Ronaldinho, Deco and Samuel Eto'o became lazy, with rumours of them partying in Barcelona's nightclubs and lacking focus on the training pitch. With this unrest in the squad, Barcelona didn't win La Liga that season and parted ways with manager Frank Rijkaard. But it would be the beginning of something special for Xavi. He was part of Spain's squad for Euro 2008 and was part of the players that brought something different to the national team. Despite their brilliance, Spain's national team had not won a major trophy in 44 long years. Xavi and the new crop of players brought harmony to the squad. They were great teammates with no egos. With this newfound harmony in the Spanish squad, Xavi, alongside Iniesta and co, thrived. Xavi scored in the semi-final of the competition against Russia, and in the final he provided Fernando Torres with an assist for the only goal of the game. To cap his spectacular performance, Xavi was voted as Euro 2008 Player of the Tournament. Xavi wasn't just a hero for his club, he had become a beacon of hope for the Spanish national team, and he was still just beginning. After his spectacular performance in Euro 2008, clubs began to talk to Xavi, with Bayern Munich leading the pack and rumours Sir Alex Ferguson was chasing him for Manchester United. However, Barcelona's new coach and Xavi's ex-teammate Pep Guardiola persuaded him to stay and reassured him he was a big part of his plans at the club. Guardiola got rid of the big-name party boys Ronaldinho and Deco, and it was easier for Xavi to see that he would be truly valued. What happened next was historic. Barca won the treble, La Liga, Copa del Rey and the UEFA Champions League. For that treble win, Xavi was the maestro in the middle of the pitch. He made the team tick, and almost every move was through him. Nobody passed the ball more than Xavi, not Iniesta, not Henry, not even Messi. He scored in Barcelona's 2009 Copa del Rey final against Atletico Bilbao with a sensational free kick. In one of Barca's crucial games in the season against Real Madrid, Xavi would provide a record 4 assists in a 6-2 victory in El Clasico. He would end the season as the player with the most assists with 20. Xavi also had an assist in that season's Champions League final against Manchester United. That assist would be his 7th, which was the highest in that edition of the tournament. For his emphatic performances, Xavi won the UEFA Champions League Best Midfielder award. The legendary midfielder continued his fine form for the club in the 2009-10 season and led the assists table again, with Barcelona winning La Liga with a record 99 points. Xavi was named Barcelona's second best player in that season, and newspaper Marca awarded him 3rd place in the annual Trofeo Alfredo Di Stefano award for the best player in the league after Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. In the summer, Xavi went to the World Cup with Spain and was instrumental once again. He set up Puyol's late winner against Germany in the semi-final. It wasn't surprising that Xavi was the 3rd best player in the world after finishing behind Barcelona teammates Lionel Messi and Andres Iniesta. When the latter scored the winning goal in the World Cup final against the Dutch, Xavi and Spain became world champions in South Africa, their first and only World Cup trophy. Xavi became a core part of Barcelona, and benching him was impossible. After a 2010-11 season, which saw him win the Champions League again, he faced new threats to his position from a younger Cesc Fabregas and Thiago Alcantara. Again, Xavi prevailed and would go on to win the Euros with Spain again in 2012. Xavi had given his all for Barcelona and in 2014 announced that he would be leaving. Luis Enrique didn't want this to happen and convinced Xavi to wait one more season. That wait turned out to be one of the best decisions of Xavi's career. He would go on to win another treble in 2015. Xavi had won everything for both club and country and gave his all during this period. His energy was no longer the same, and the pace of European football was something he could no longer cope with. So, when Xavi eventually left Barcelona, he opted to play for Al Sadd in Qatar before eventually becoming their coach. Within the 2.5 years he was in charge, Xavi won 7 trophies for his club. He left them for Barcelona, but you already know how that went. Xavi was a world-class player and has shown that he is a great coach. He has conquered club and international football as a player and has begun the process as a coach. Unfortunately, Xavi has parted ways with Barcelona and is looking for his next challenge. Will he hit the same heights as a manager as he did as a player? Does he go down as Spain's best ever player? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more football updates.